Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Nashtuprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So yesterday we were discussing, as usual, Lord Jagannath's pastimes. So today I guess will be the last day because we have to get back to our Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So today we were going to discuss the different places in Jagannath Puri, which one should visit when he goes there. So while on the Grand Road is a road that leads from main Jagannath temple to Gundicha temple. So there's a place called Gaudiya Math. So that Gaudiya Math is the place where Bhakti Vinod Thakur used to live, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was born there at that place, that very place. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur was a magistrate in Jagannath Puri, and because he was trying to re-establish the real Vaishnava tradition which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had started, and later on which was lost. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur, while trying, and he was struggling and he was getting overwhelmed, so he basically prayed to Lord Jagannath to send a ray of his, means send his power, potency. So this work of preaching and this re-establishing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings could go on. So Jagannath ji then sent this boy. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had 12 kids, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, whose earlier name was Bimla Prasad. So he was born in house of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And when he was born, the umbilical cord that is around the baby, that was wrapped around Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the form of a Brahman thread, in the form of a janevu. In that form, it was wrapped around. And when he was only 6 months old, the Jagannath Rath Yatra was going to happen. And Jagannath's chariot came and it stopped right in front of their house, and it wouldn't move. So since Bhakti Vinod Thakur's wife, she was like wife of the High Court judge of Puri, so she decided, after a day, she decided to go on Jagannath's chariot. And when she took the baby, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bimla Prasad, on the chariot with her, and they put Bimla Prasad at the lotus feet of Lord Jagannath. So Jagannath's garland fell on the baby, signifying that it's a special baby and Jagannath ji has some special work to do through this boy. And after the wife of Bhaktivinoda Thakur got down from the chariot with the baby, and then the chariot started moving. So it was clear that Jagannath ji stopped there just to bless this baby. And obviously we know how hard Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur worked and how he established Gaudiya Math all over the world. In fact, all over the world, but in India only, he established 64 places of Gaudiya Math. And then he initiated Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada took the mission further. So that's again a very important place for all of us to visit. And on the way, then there is a place called Jagannath Vallabh Garden, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, when Rath Yatra Rath had stopped there, Mahaprabhu, because he was dancing so long, he was tired, so he went inside Jagannath Vallabh Garden to take rest. And because Rath was taking time to move, and then Maharaj Pratap Rudra, king of Puri, he came and he massaged the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Mahaprabhu gave him mercy. It's a wonderful discussion that happened over there. And a wonderful scene of mercy of Mahaprabhu on Maharaj Prataprutra. And then the Rath goes further, it reaches Gundicha temple. In between, there are not many significant places. Gundicha temple, as we discussed, is non-different from Vrindavan. And Jagannath stays there for 8 days because 9th day is at Rath Yatra back. And near or right on the side of Gundicha temple, there's a temple of Lord Nrsimhadev. It's a very, very old temple. And there the Nrsimhadev's deity is in the form of Shant Nrsimha. Generally, he's in a very ferocious form. But here the deity is very Shant, very peaceful. But there is a deity behind this Shant Nrsimha, and that deity is original Nrsimhadev. That is the Ugra form. But to see that, you have to take help of the Pujari. So he has to take us at a particular angle, and he has to show the lamp from another side there. Then we can take darshan of that old deity. But this deity is very shant. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, after, a day before Rath Yatra starts, there's a festival called Gundicha Marjan. So Mahaprabhu started that festival of cleansing the whole Gundicha temple along with his devotees. So he basically cleansed and then he washed the whole temple, including the ceilings, because this is where Jagannath was going to come and sit for the next 8 days. So Mahaprabhu wanted to make the place perfectly, spotlessly clean for Lord to come and sit and be there. So, so in our temples also, this festival takes place very nicely, very enthusiastically. Devotees all come and wash the whole temple, clean the whole temple on that day. Even though we don't have Rath Yatra on next day, everywhere we don't have Rath Yatras on the regular Rath Yatra day, but still the tradition is let's clean the temple on Gundicha Marjan day. The idea behind it is when we clean the temple so nicely, thinking that Lord will come and stay there, our hearts get cleaned. Our consciousness gets cleaned. And the idea is, another viewpoint behind Rath Yatra is that we are pulling the chariot of Jagannath. So we are basically petitioning to Jagannath, please come and sit in our heart. So until the heart is clean, it's completely clean, the Lord will not come and sit there. So that's why the idea is to clean the Gundicha temple where Jagannath is going to come and sit. So we also cleanse our heart, cleanse our consciousness, because we want the Lord to come and sit there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after cleansing this Gundicha temple, he also took his devotees and they cleansed this Nrsimha temple also. So one year we got a chance when the whole group had gone there. So we got a chance to cleanse this Nrsimha temple also. So Lord Nrsimha's special mercy. And just few, maybe 100 meters ahead, 100 or 150 meters ahead, there's a place called Indragama Sarovar. So that is a place from where devotees bring water. Well, at the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they used to bring water from here to Gundicha temple to cleanse the whole temple. Nowadays, water is available in the Gundicha temple only. But we still go there because that is a place where Mahaprabhu, after cleansing the Gundicha temple, Mahaprabhu went with all his followers and they spent lots of time there. They had lots of water pastimes, means everybody was inside the pond and they were splashing water on everybody else. And it was good contest going on. It wasn't to defeat anybody, but it was to please the other person by splashing water on him so that his fatigue goes away. So we also go and take a bath over there. And then, okay, so this is on the main road. So if we go on the side of the main road, near the main temple, there is a place called Siddhabakul. Siddhabakul is a place where Haridas Thakur used to sit at that place and he would because he was born in a Muslim family, and as we discussed that Jagannath temple only Hindus are allowed, although Haridas Thakur was Nam Acharya, but he still considered himself so fallen, he said, I will not go inside the temple. So he would just sit there, chant 300,000 names every day. Means 192 rounds every single day he would chant. We just chanted on one day and it was really tiring. So just imagine he would be chanting every day, and not just chanting, he would be preaching and he would be doing other activities also. And from that place, we see now there are so many buildings that are constructed, but earlier there were no buildings, so he could see the Neela Chakra from that place. So that was the best place for him to be at. And Haridas Thakur would not even make a hut for himself. He would be sitting in the sun and chanting. And every day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would bring Jagannath Prasadam from Jagannath temple to Haridas Thakur. Every day. That was the mercy of Mahaprabhu. So one day, like every day in Jagannath temple, the pujaris offer this bakul stick, bakul branch, or part of bakul branch to Lord Jagannath as his datan for his toothbrush. So every night when they put the deities to rest, so they leave these three sticks for Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra. And every morning these sticks are found little chewed upon. It means Jagannath ji has used it for cleansing his teeth. So Mahaprabhu brought one of those sticks to Haridas Thakur, where Haridas Thakur used to chant, and he planted that stick in the ground. Because Haridas Thakur would not build a house or hut for himself. He would just be chanting in the sun. And Mahaprabhu didn't like it. And when Mahaprabhu planted that bakul tree stick in the ground, and he started chanting and doing kirtan, and in front of everybody's eyes, a beautiful tree, bakul tree came out of that stick, right away, then and there. And then Mahaprabhu instructed Haridas Thakur to sit under that tree and chant. And then later on, Mahaprabhu asked him to build a hut also. So that tree is still there. It's not the original tree, but it came from the original root of the same original tree. So that's why it's called Siddh Bakul. Siddh means it's perfect, because he used to hear Haridas Thakur chant every day 300,000 names. So who could be more perfect than that Bakul tree? And that is a place where Haridas Thakur also left his body, because when he understood that Mahaprabhu is going to wind up his pastimes very soon. So one day Haridas Thakur requested Mahaprabhu that he wants to leave before Mahaprabhu leaves the world. Because he said, I won't be able to bear your separation. So I want to leave the body first. So Mahaprabhu basically agreed. And in front of Mahaprabhu, while looking at the lotus face of Mahaprabhu, Haridas Thakur left his body while chanting the holy name and while other devotees were performing kirtan. And Mahaprabhu first picked up his body and he started to dance and chant. But then other devotees, Swarup Damodar, told him, Mahaprabhu, we have to start the last rites of Haridas Thakur. So then Mahaprabhu took the body of Haridas Thakur to the sea, ocean, which is not far from there. And he bathed the ocean. He bathed the body in the ocean. And near the ocean only, then all the devotees dug a hole in the ground, and they buried the body of Haridas Thakur and they made a samadhi. So when Mahaprabhu bathed the body of Haridas Thakur in the ocean, then he said, this ocean is a tirtha here. So whenever we also go, we try to take a sea bath also. We try to take a bath in the sea because it's a tirtha. Obviously, when we go, we don't take the bath as if it's place of pilgrimage, we get into very playful mood and we spend lots of time there playing around with the water in the ocean, because in Delhi that's the only problem we have. We don't have an ocean in Delhi. We don't have a sea beach in Delhi where we can go and play. So devotees get in different mood when they see the ocean, but that's okay. So then there is Haridas Thakur Samadhi. It's a nice temple there. And near that temple, there is ISKCON temple, which used to be Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhajan Kutir, and later on ISKCON got it. And now we have a nice temple there. And not far from there is a place called Tota Gopinath temple. Tota Gopinath, Tota means garden. And that is a place Mahaprabhu found this deity of Gopinath, which was buried underground. And it's a beautiful, beautiful deity. And Ganga, what's his name? Gadadhar Pandit used to worship that deity. Who is Gadadhar Pandit? Gadadhar Pandit is actually Srimati Radharani herself. It came as Gadadhar Pandit to accompany Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his pastimes. So from Navadvip, Gadadhar Pandit came with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Puri. And Mahaprabhu used to reside in Gambhira, where it was very close to the Jagannath temple. And every day he would go to Tota Gopinath temple to listen to Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. And the passages, the topics that Mahaprabhu would listen to every day, and Gadadhar Pandit used to recite. Just imagine, Srimati Radharani is reciting Bhagavatam and Mahaprabhu is listening. Just imagine the scene. And what Mahaprabhu would listen to was the stories of Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj. He was not listening to Krishna having Ras Leela with the gopis and this and that. He would listen to only these two stories every day. And they would cry out of ecstatic love, out of gratefulness to Krishna. And this deity of Tota Gopinath, Tota means garden, because Gopinath deity was found in the garden, so garden means Tota, so it's called Tota Gopinath. And according to some scriptures, this was the very first deity of Krishna made by Brahmaji himself. It is there from the very beginning of creation. It's a beautiful deity, and it was very tall deity. And Gadadhar Pandit was still there when Mahaprabhu left his body. And there is a little crack on the right knee of this deity, Tota Gopinath. And it is said that Mahaprabhu, when he left his body, when he wound up his pastimes, so he was chanting and he was doing kirtan, so people simultaneously saw him entering into Jagannath and entering this Tota Gopinath deity through this crack in the knee. They saw him both places, though he entered at the same time. And later on, Gadadhar Pandit, because Mahaprabhu left and Gadadhar Pandit was still around, so he became like very old right away. He just basically lost all his bodily strength and he became old. And it was difficult for him to stand up and garland this Tota Gopinath deity or dress him. So he requested, and on his request, this Tota Gopinath deity sat down. So today when we go to take darshan, we see him sitting down, deity, and he's sitting in Padma Asana. And in the morning when we go, when do the dressing of this deity, so the pujaris, for little donation, they can show the sitting down posture of this deity, sitting in Padmasana, and the crack in the knee also. They can let us take darshan of that. Because whole day otherwise the dhoti is there and we don't see the knee and the crack. So again, it's a beautiful temple, and now they have made because this Tota Gopinath, again, this is also considered as non-different from Vrindavan. So they have made this, and this temple is on a sand dune actually, and that sand dune is considered as non-different from Govardhan Hill. And the devotees have made nice Radhakund and Shamkund over there in the garden of that Tota Gopinath deity temple. So again, beautiful place to visit whenever we go to Jagannath Puri and take darshan of this. It is a very beautiful deity, Tota Gopinath. Very, very beautiful. And on side of him, one side is Lalita Devi and other side is Srimati Radharani. And Radharani and Lalita Devi, they both have taken the mood of this Gopinath deity and they both are black in color in this temple. Otherwise, they are white in other temples. But here in this temple, they both are black in color. So, a different temple to visit. And okay, then we come towards the temple, the main temple. So we come to Gambhira. Gambhira is a place where Mahaprabhu stayed for 18 years. Mahaprabhu total lifespan, total pastime span was 48 years. So out of 48 years, 24 years he spent in Navdeep, Mayapur. And then then he left, he took sannyas and he came to Jagannath Puri. And first 6 years he spent in South India. He was traveling in South India, different places, and spreading the message of Krishna, making everybody Vaishnava. And then he came back and he spent rest 18 years in Gambhira. And Gambhira is a house, it was the house of one of the confident associates of King of Puri, Kashi Mishra, and Mahaprabhu found that place very nice and he stayed there. And first 12 years of those 18 years, the devotees used to come from Navdeep and Mahaprabhu would associate with them, go to Rath Yatra every year with them, and have different pastimes. But last 6 years, so there's a very small room in Gambhira. Last 6 years, he just spent in that room. And if you read the Ante Leela in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you'll see how he would be crying in separation from Krishna, and he would be basically scratching the walls of that room. And he had a servant named Govinda. He would be outside that room trying to guard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and many times they would close the door, lock the door so he doesn't get out, because once he is out, he would just run away, he would go here or there. Like one day his body was found in the ocean, because he jumped in sea. He was in so much of pain of separation from Krishna. Because although he's Krishna himself, but he's in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So that actually Krishna wanted to taste that feeling of Srimati Radharani when she is in love with Krishna. So that is, and especially when she is in separation. So he was in that mood. So those 6 years were really, really, I mean, it's the topmost of the bhakti. Of course, we cannot even conceive of that. In that mood, when Mahaprabhu was there, so in that mood, he composed this Shikshashtakam prayers in Gambhira that are very popular in ISKCON. In fact, we chant every morning over there in ISKCON temples. So if you can also chant those Shikshashtakam prayers, wonderful prayers. They're only 8 verses, wonderful verses. So that was composed by Mahaprabhu when he was in Gambhira. And also when we come from Gambhira to the temple, to main temple, there's a place called Shwet Ganga. And near the Shwet Ganga is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. So Mahaprabhu, when he came to Jagannath Puri, he was coming with Nityananda Prabhu, Mukunda and the devotees. But when he entered, he came alone. They all stayed behind. They were coming a little later. So Mahaprabhu, when he came to Jagannath Puri, he went to the temple and looking at the deity of Lord Jagannath, he just fainted over there out of ecstasy. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was the guru of King Prataprutra, so he saw Mahaprabhu and he understood this is not an ordinary person, and he brought Mahaprabhu to his house, and that is the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and where he brought him, and then wonderful conversations happened. Mahaprabhu stayed there for a while, and basically idea of Mahaprabhu was to convert Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya from a Mayavadi to Vaishnava. So he succeeded in that, and then Mahaprabhu he went to South India, and then he stayed in Gambhira, which is like 2 minutes away from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. So these are some of the most important places. Of course, we go a little bit farther away. There's Alarnath, where Mahaprabhu went when during Snan Yatra, as I said, after Snan Yatra until Rath Yatra, 15 days, we don't get to take darshan of Jagannath. So Mahaprabhu was in so much of separation, he could not stay in Puri. So for 15 days, he went to Alarnath, which is about 30 kilometers from Jagannath Puri. So another wonderful place. And then there is a place where this Nilachal Parvat is there, and the Neelamadav deity picture that I posted a few days back, that deity, the temple is there. Of course, it's not the original Neelamadav. Original Neelamadav is already buried in the sand. He has gone back. But this is the temple. It was established later on. But we also go and take darshan there of Neelamadav. So few places you should always visit when you go to Jagannath. And then there is Konark temple, of course, not connected with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but architecturally or historically, beautiful temple, Sun Temple in Konark, which is also not far away, so that you can visit on the way. Hare Krishna. So I'll stop here. See if anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, nursing temple का आपने बताया था that Ubroop is also there and the Shant Roop. So why there is a, there was some specific reason, or it was just like?
Shant Roop deity is there because what had happened, many Muslim kings, they were invading Jagannath Puri. So this temple is pretty much at the entrance of Puri. From the other side, I mean, there are 2 or 3 entrances. So this is one of the entrances. So the thing was, whenever they would come, try to invade Jagannath Puri, but if they come and take darshan of this deity, they will become shant. They will become very peaceful. So they would not do any damage.
So originally the roop is Ugro roop only.
In that place, yes.
Okay.
Narsingadev has many forms, but this Ugra Roop is like mostly people have seen because he was there to kill Hiranyakashipu and protect Prahlad Maharaj. He was very angry at that time. But then later on he was pacified by prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. So then he took the Shant Roop.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
You're welcome. Any other comments? So I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful day, and tomorrow we'll have our regular Bhagavatam class. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.